Hello everybody, welcome back to Home Savvy Tech. In this video, I want to talk to you about the latest flagship phone from Google, the Pixel 6. I ordered this phone in the European Union about 3 weeks back. I received the phone on the day before and have been using it since yesterday. In this video, I'm going to particularly talk about my very initial impressions using the phone and also give you an idea how you can import one to India and whether it's really worth doing so in my opinion. Alright, let's begin the unboxing. No big surprises here. So you have the device itself on top. We'll take a closer look at that in a moment. And then you have the rudimentary documentation, a bunch of papers here. And then you have a USB-C to C charging cable along with a USB connector, and as expected there's no charger in the system. Google, like the other major manufacturers, has gone completely frugal with what they offer with their latest smartphone. Alright, before I go into the technical specifications, I wanted to mention that with the Pixel 6, Google has taken their flagship series where it has never been before. Not only is the Pixel 6 beautifully made, it's also brilliantly built. Let's talk about the screen to begin with. You get a 90Hz AMOLED display here, which is HDR10 certified. The display looks gorgeous and it's quite smooth as well. And you have a full glass back here, which is protected by Gorilla Glass 6, and the aluminum frame which integrates the back and the front is super premium as well. If you look at the top of the phone, you have the antennae and the noise cancelling microphone here, and in the sides is where you can find the volume rocker and the power on off button. At the bottom is where you will find the stereo speakers, and they sound really nice too, along with the USB-C charger. If you take a closer look at the back, you'll also see the camera bar here, which houses both the wide angle camera, which is 50 megapixels, and the ultra wide, which is 12 megapixels. And in the front is a punch hole camera, which actually is 8 megapixels. The battery on the Pixel 6 is actually rated at 4614 milliampere hours, and I've last charged this phone only yesterday in the morning and been using it for close to around 4 to 5 hours time. I'm still at 60%, so that's really mighty impressive. As far as the charging capabilities are concerned, this has 30 watts fast charging and 21 watts wireless charging, but like with Samsung and Apple, there is no charger in the box anymore. Now, one of my biggest gripes about the Pixel 6 is the fact that it's not offered in a smaller size, and this was particularly concerning for me because I'm coming from a much smaller device, the Pixel 1. However, having used the phone since yesterday, I can confidently say that the Pixel 1 is very easy to handle in a single hand, and I've been able to do most of the things that I'm accustomed to doing on my older device. So if you're coming from a smaller device, like one of the earlier Pixels or an iPhone, I don't think handling the phone with one hand should be a concern at all, and it will only take a couple of hours before you get used to it. I must, however, mention that the Pixel 6, being an all-glass body, is susceptible to slipping, and therefore I do strongly recommend that you use a protective case that also offers you additional grip to prevent it from scratches and bumps. Alright, those were my very initial impressions using the phone, and like I already said, I am thoroughly impressed with the Pixel 6. For once, Google has come out with what I think is a truly flagship smartphone which can compete with the Apples and Samsungs of the world. Alright, well, now Google seems to have done a lot of things right with the Pixel 6. I do think they should have offered it here in India and other markets, because both Samsung and Apple do that, and they have been hugely successful with their most recent flagship launches. Let's hope that Google rethinks their strategy and does offer the phone for sale here in India in the near future. There are a couple of ways you can still get hold of the phone. The first and the most obvious way is to pick it up yourself if you happen to be traveling to one of the countries where the phone is sold. The second and more easier way is to import it from one of the freight forwarding services, but do remember that you will end up paying 40 to 50% customs duty, with which the value proposition this phone brings is somewhat lost. And also remember that despite the fact that you might be able to carry the phone yourself to India, Google does not provide any warranty support for the Pixel 6 since it's not officially sold here. My own experience using Google support here in India has been anything but lackluster. So that's pretty much what I had to share in this initial impressions video. I'll continue to use this phone as my daily driver and create a more detailed review in about 6 to 8 weeks from now. Do stay tuned, and until we meet next time, stay safe.